Hello and namaste, everybody. Thank you very much for showing up at the last minute. Um, I was I was very busy actually last week, and I wanted to do this live show because I found um, actually tonight is going to be a little challenging for me because this is not going to be a happy kind of my videos or show. I wanted to actually share a huge problem or a issue which India, or kind of the place where I come from, Rajasthan, is facing in the field of education. And I shared a picture on social media last week. I got a huge response from people, not only from India but from outside world, from outside India as well. And a lot of people wanted to offer help. What can we do? I'm going to give you a little background, and I'm going to give you a presentation today because this presentation, what happened to me last week, shook me from inside. And I wanted to pass on that feeling to you so that you can understand how grave is the problem, and especially in the field of education, and especially in Rajasthan. I don't know what happens in the other states, but I found this problem is highly prevalent here in Rajasthan, and especially in the government schools. So I moved to from United States last year, and I have been wanting to do some work in the field of education, especially in Rajasthan. So I try to contact a lot of politicians. I try to contact a lot of bureaucrats. I try to stay engaged in the community and try. This is called like a discovery process in a startup world. I wanted to find out what I'm thinking, what I'm doing is absolutely in the right direction or not. So I went out, meet so many people, and what are the resources available in my hand. I run a small foundation. It's called a Kaushlam Foundation here, and in US it is called Son of India Foundation. So I wanted to give back, and this is one of the areas which is I am very passionate about is education. So I try to find out where I have resources at my hand and what I can do for these students who are in government school. The reason I picked the government school because a lot of people ask me why didn't you go for private schools, and the reason I didn't go for a private school because my thinking is private schools have enough resources. These students have a lot of resources at hand. So they really don't care who comes from outside or somebody coming from America giving them gyan. Nobody is interested these days, especially in education field. So I simply wanted to offer my help to government schools because I feel they are the ones who cater to those students who are very poor. They have absolutely no resources at hand. Their parents work like mostly are kind of labor class, and they are very low in the society, especially Indian society as of this moment. So with this, I found this is the right area where my knowledge, my wisdom, my experience can really help. And I have a special program, it's called in entrepreneurship, where we can help from 11th grade students to 12th grade students. And at least with this 12-week course, I think any student who goes through this course can at least look after himself very well just after 12th grade. So that was my goal. This was the discovery process. I found this as a problem. Now I'm going to show you or present you a little presentation what I found here. And that will give you a little idea what I'm talking about. Wait for a moment. Let me share my screen. Uh, 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 Here it is. Here it is. I hope you can see this. So this is actually in today's newspaper. If you see harassed by teachers for his school, 17-year-old student, he hangs himself in a small village in Rajasthan. And I see almost this kind of news every day. I see it every day, something like this. Um, I hope you can see it. So this was when I was discovering my process of, I was interviewing the principal of the college, this school, government school where I went there, I was shocked by his comment. You know what did he say? He said, कुणाल जी, ये जितने students हैं, they are actually destined to become laborers. दे आर डिस्टाइंड टू बिकम लेबर्स, सो आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते इनका। इनके पेरेंट्स को इनसे कोई होप नहीं है, हमको इनसे कोई होप नहीं है। हमारे जो टीचर्स हैं वो जितनी उनकी श्रद्धा होती है वो पढ़ाते हैं, और अगर स्टूडेंट क्लास में आते हैं तो यहाँ ये इसलिए आते हैं बिकॉज यहाँ पे इनको फ्री में खाना मिलता है, लंच मिलता है। This was his words. And I felt so bad after that. I started crying in my heart that, somebody can even think like this for the students. And they are like young students between the age of 16 and 18. So that was his word. And at that time, I made up my mind that I really want to do something for these students because they are the ones who need help. So so this is the situation I found after going there for a couple of days. This is the girl. I'm going to share some of the letters which I had them write, but this is the situation right now in the school, especially in Rajasthan. Very poor infrastructure of the school. When I went there, I saw the computer lab, and you can see even the ceiling of these roofs, ceiling of these classrooms. They're very, very old classrooms. They all have, like during the rain, they all have leaks. There's a water coming from the ceiling, from the roof, and all the computers went bad. So only two computers were actually in the functioning stage when I saw it. And the teachers there absolutely have no motivation to teach. So when I asked them why they don't want to teach, and they said, like, most of the teachers have a political background. They're drawing 20 lakh rupees annual salary. Can you believe, in Rajasthan average teacher is withdrawing 20 lakh rupees salary? And even after that, they don't want to teach. And the reason is very simple. They said these students, they are not serious about studies. They don't show up in the classroom. Even if they show up in the school, they just play outside. And I said, why don't you just go and ask them to sit in the class and go and teach them? Nobody is interested. So highly demotivated uh, teachers. Their parents have no idea about the studies, about the education. Either they are totally illiterate, or they are very, very less, like fifth graders or second graders or fourth graders, because mostly they are laborers. um, Teachers do a lot of other stuff other than education or teaching. They handle, like, a lot of bureaucratic thing. That was the answer given to me. Like, they do a lot of online portal things, like, because attendance is mandatory, Modi government is asking them to do a lot of things which they are mandated to do for the students. um, Politicians, I tried to contact the education minister. I spoke to different bureaucrats. They, I can tell you, they are the ones who are the cause of it, because all they are doing right now is just attending events, posing themselves on the stages, getting themselves photographed, doing their personal PR in the newspaper or on social media. That's all they care about. That's what they're doing. They have no idea what's happening inside the classrooms. When I started interacting with these students, I took about 3 or 4 classes. I found them extremely motivated. I was surprised, and I'm going to show you about 18 notes or letters which these amazing students, age from 17 and 18, they have written. Beautiful Hindi, beautiful handwriting, and the most important thing is an amazing, amazing mindset. Very positive. You can see this girl in the picture who is smiling. She wants to become an air hostess. Can you believe that? I spoke about the NGO. So, like, there is an NGO called Akshapatra who serves lunch now, but they only serve the lunch up to eighth grade. Now, what about 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th? Half of them, they bring food from their home, and rest, they don't even bring food. They share the food what Akshay Patra brought for class 8th. So the whole school is, they eat the food which is brought by Akshay Patra and NGO. Now, I don't understand why they only bring the food up to eighth grade. They should have brought the food for the entire school, but it's again at their mercy. Now, biggest question which came to my mind, hey, who's paying for their education? Who's paying this 20 lakh rupees salary to these teachers annually? It's us, taxpayers. Everybody pays taxes in India. Even the poorest people, they pay GST taxes. So all of the taxpayers' money and big chunk of that taxpayers' money is going down the drains to this kind of infrastructure. It's beyond my imagination. I was like, seriously, this is what happening with my tax money. So we have to really think what is the situation right now and how big is this problem. Now, so I decided to take the class and I decided to go very slow and teach them entrepreneurship because I think 2 years, 11th and 12th grade, these are the 2 years which are very, very critical for anybody who wants to learn a little bit of life skills, and especially in the field of entrepreneurship. When we talk about Rajasthan or talk about Jaipur, a lot of people think about that Marwari style, that people are by birth kind of, business people. It's a business community. But I can tell you, it's not true. It is not true, especially when you go to these schools and see these kids. They have no idea what entrepreneurship is. They have no idea whether their dreams would be true or not. Most of them have lost hope. When I spoke to them, I'm going to show you in the next slide some of the letters they wrote. And every letter you read, you will find they have a dream, but they are not sure, they are uncertain that they are going to fulfill their dream or not, because either their parents is a bottleneck, their teachers are of course a bottleneck, because it is the duty of a teacher to show the path for the student that he can fulfill his dream. And that's where I feel that these teachers are not doing their job. All they are trying to do is create more bottlenecks, create more hurdles in their dream. And when I talk to them, I find excuse after excuse, excuse after excuse, excuse after excuse. There is no solution. And they themselves have lost the hope. So I feel even the teacher, if my teacher, my guru has lost the hope in me, what motivates me to do something good? So if you see, a lot of these students wants to become teachers because they think their teacher is not doing or fulfilling his own duty, so she wants to teach and fulfill the duty of a teacher which she thinks should be. So think about the kind of mindset these young adults are carrying. It is phenomenal, despite of having no resources at their mercy, no resources at their hand. Now think about this. This is another four letters. There is a guy here. He says, मेरा नाम मोहन बेरवा है और मैं कक्षा 11th में पढ़ता हूँ. मेरे पास 8 सब्जेक्ट है. मेरा सपना पुलिस बनना है. मैं पुलिस की तैयारी करी. मुझे पुलिस क्यों बनना है? क्योंकि आजकल भारत में बहुत से अपराध हो रहे हैं. अब देखिए, आप हिंदी में भी he is making mistakes. Think about what would be the situation. He's an 11th grade guy. उसको हिंदी में भी अभी लिखने में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, तो forget about English. At the other hand, there are other people, like there is a girl here, she wrote a beautiful English, and one letter in English, I wanted to show you that. Look at this. My name is Antima Lakshkar. I study in class 11th. The challenges was in cabin crew. Exams was very difficult. There was a competition in cabin crew. We speak English and Hindi, but I can't speak English properly. I want to go in English classes, but I don't have time to go classes. I write English properly, but I can't speak properly. I want to join a classes. There was also many problems, but I manage the many problem. In my society, this was very worst job ever, but I think this was the great job for me because in cabin crew job there was advantages. My parents, they will travel in flights. So her dream is to take their parents in a flight. Look at the beautiful creativity these guys have. And all of these letters, like if you see these letters, has literally, it is going to move you. This one, another one, I want to read this. मेरा नाम रिंकू सेन है, मैं कक्षा 11th की छात्रा हूँ। मैं अपना पूरा सपना करना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि मेरे माता पिता का ये सपना है कि मैं बड़े होकर कुछ बने। मैं शिक्षक बनना चाहती हूँ, मैं अध्यापक इसलिए बनना चाहती हूँ कि एक सफल मैं अध्यापक अपने शिष्यों कुछ उचित राह दिखाती है। यदि हम शिष्यों को अच्छी तरह से शिक्षा दी जाएंगे तो आजकल के बच्चे योग्य बनेंगे। और मैं अध्यापक बनकर अपने शिष्यों के लिए नेक आचरण, एक आदर्श मानव बनना चाहती हूँ। मैं अपने शिष्यों को पूरी लगन से पढ़ाऊंगी, मैं उनकी समस्याओं को दूर करने का प्रयास करूंगी। मैं चाहूंगी कि मेरे शिष्य पढ़ लिख कर कुछ बने, योग्य डॉक्टर वैज्ञानिक बने। मैं अपने शिष्यों को ये भावना देना चाहती हूँ कि वे पढ़ लिख कर अपना पूरा सपना करें, उनके माता पिता का नाम रोशन करें। नाउ थिंक अबाउट इट, दिस काइंड ऑफ ड्रीम्स दे हैव, but nobody cares. It just nobody cares. So what's the solution? So I try to post this on social media and look at what I got about 1200. This is from last night, but more than 1300 people. They wants to do something, they like it, they wants to support it. But question is, what should they do? What should we do? We have a group, we can do something, but we don't know what should we do. So, question is, what should we do? And this is what I thought what we can do. This is what I think what we can do is we create, we try to help people wherever we are, because there are some lessons which I learned and which I want to share with you guys. That the lessons which I learned is this: moving forward, if you really wants to help and really want to do something for people back in India or wherever you are, India needs a lot of help. And especially government school system education is a huge problem area. It is a huge opportunity for anybody who wants to contribute back to their motherland or do something. So in this particular concept of one classroom, one mentor kind of thing, you can adopt a classroom in your neighborhood for 11th grade. The reason I'm saying 11th grade, because 12th grade they have board exams. They are very kind of, their mindset is wired to have a board exam, and they are not mentally prepared to take anything extra. So 11th grade is the best option where you can start. You can go to the meet people, go reach out to the principal, education minister, commissioner, anybody whom you know, and see if you can hook up to one good classroom of 40 to 50 students. Find like minded mentors who can teach in those classrooms. Believe me, virtual will not work. Those who are trying to do virtual and see if something can work, because those people who have even a computer at their home, they are fine. They don't need us. They have global resources at their hand. They can do that. People who don't have computers, who don't have mobile, they are the ones who really need mentors like us. So try to this is again my learning, what I got. So people ask me, what are your learnings? I'm just sharing those things. Third thing, I would strongly encourage, if you can create a good rapport with teachers in that school, then try to mentor those teachers and see if they can become your advocates and they also like you and they want to really help, because that will make your life much easier if you can help teachers become your friends, because they need to be your friends. They cannot be enemies, and you cannot accomplish anything in the school by making them enemies. Collect the parents' addresses and phone numbers if you can. Try to reach out to their homes and see if you can connect with them. They would be very shabby, dirty, whatever it is, but try to connect at their home, because then you can really connect with them, build trust, build confidence. They should feel safe, that their kids are safe in your company. Mentor them, mentor the parents, mentor the teachers. I have built a course. It's a 12 weeks entrepreneurship course, but you are free to do. Basically, what you need to share is your life skills, your personal wisdom, stories. That's what generates interest for these kids, because the underlying purpose is to uplift their morale. They should feel confident in themselves that they can achieve their dreams. They should have their hope alive. And that is what your job as a mentor is. So this program, if you want to run at your own pace, at your own place, my recommendation is virtual will not work. Your higher connections will not work. You go by yourself until you have your own sleeves on, rolled up, make your hands dirty, and then you have to go and talk to these school principals, connect with the teachers, and then go into the classroom and start teaching. So if you do not have a flair for teaching, I would not suggest you doing it. Find somebody who has a flair for teaching, who has a lot of patience, because believe me, you're going to face a lot of problems if you don't have those traits. Build a network of mentors. So this exercise, what I'm doing is basically trying to find like-minded people who wants to support me, who wants to do something, so that you can do at your own pace, at your own place. Build a bridge between education departments and students. Once you go into these schools, you will find a lot of other problems. Like, I'll tell you the story. When I was there, I found in the recess, I saw the whole class, about, I think it must be eighth grade or ninth grade students. They were doing like utak batak. I don't know why. In the recess, in the morning, and the whole class and the teachers were like running and walking with a stick in their hand. I can't believe this is happening in today's India in the government school system. It is happening. Those who have been trained and who have seen their kids learning in like US, Singapore, other developed nations, wherever they are, my suggestion would be to bring those templates, like bring that learning here and try to implement small learnings in a small batches. Because if you try to teach everything or focus everything into different things, you would lose the focus. Um, like when I went to the school, I found 10 other problems, but I didn't deviate from my focus. My focus was to teach entrepreneurship to 11th graders, and I stayed on my focus. I didn't want to deviate from my focus. So you would find a lot of problems, but do not try to solve everything, because you cannot solve everything. Stay focused on the problem you want to solve. Empower these young brains, build confidence in them, empower them. So like, I took breakfast every day morning when I went there, because I know they are going to be hungry. So ready to spend some money from your own pocket. It's not very expensive, but yes, you have to feed them in order to. So I always tell them, bhuke pet bhajan na hoy gopala. So it's like that. So you have to keep that community. If you really want to help, just treat them as your own kids. Feed them, help them, feed them, help them, mentor them. They're going to listen to you. um, Create a community who truly wants to give back. uh, do not expect anything, not even a single recognition for your own work. This is purely giving back. This is how I do it. This is what I think everybody should do it. Do not talk about fundraising, because I don't do it. Do not raise any funds, because funds won't help in this kind of scenario. Only truly your own zeal to help, your own efforts to help will help. Focus on community building, that you are empowering these 40, 50 students. They are going to do and replicate the same with other 500 people. So it has to be a non-bureaucratic model. Everybody would be a mentor. So I call myself a mentor. If you're going to associate with me, or you're going to associate or do something by yourself in this community, we can create a community of mentors, and we all can help. Now think about that. It's going to be a bigger community if we do that. So this is what I think, our connect, collaborate, and create model, where we can create a huge mentorship network of people, and we can connect and share our best practices, like once a week, once a month, help each other with the ideas, and then see what's working, what's not working. How do we connect? We have different groups. I do these kind of meeting at least once a week. Zoom meetings. I have my Calendly, which is available to you guys. I'm going to share this. You can always call me. My India number is there. My US number is there. um, we have a website or a Facebook, Kaushlam Foundation. If you want to subscribe that, update those pages, you can do that. I have my Twitter account, Son of India. I do occasionally put most of my updates there. But the best is the Calendly meetings and Zoom meetings. You automatically get a Zoom thing. So this is what I was hoping to present, and I hope you saw it, you like it. Um, Let me come back to the main issue. Um, Yes, so this is what I wanted to show you. If you have any questions, I am open to take any questions now. Um, Anybody else has any questions, please let me know. Any questions? Um, Yes, I do once a month a show called NRIs. It's on YouTube, NREYES. It's a live podcast. So if anybody has any questions, you can also connect me on that podcast. I bring guests who can talk about different things, what they are doing in their at their side. But I can tell you one thing: this is a huge problem. I don't know if in our lifetime this problem is going to be solved, but my goal is that whatever the impact we can create for these young adults, we should do it. So with this, namaste, and thank you very much, whoever is listening in whichever channel you are listening from, on our custom website, on our NRI channel, as well as the Indian Expats Group. It's almost 26, 27 minutes. I would love to connect back and again share my thoughts, but this is going to be recorded, so you can always see it on demand. So with this, thank you very much. Namaste.